Good morning, everyone. We're about to bring you the latest COVID-19 UAE updates. However, if you found this podcast through an article, which so many of you are doing, please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts so you can get your Dubai news daily. Good morning, Dubai. How are you doing? Happy Monday. Welcome back to the Lovin Daily. Today we're talking about a Bitcoin buy, 17 billion dirham. We're talking about restaurant closures at the highest restaurant in the UAE. We're talking about Will Smith, he's still in Dubai, and Maz Hakim and her incredible COVID business journey. But before we get into it, right before we went live, Simran dropped a bit of a bomb. She said her life has changed because of a positive manifestation.
Yeah, so I've heard
I'm
through
not sure.
so many people, like you should listen to positive affirmations before you sleep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you were thinking of something else, like just manifesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So my mom is like a big believer in one of this, and she's like, listen to positive affirmations, like listen to it. So I'm like, okay, so I tried this one thing just to see if it works. And it works.
Give me, for those who don't know, because I literally have no idea what you're talking about. What does that mean?
Positive affirmations.
And how do you find it? Like, how do I find the
Just
secret?
YouTube. So the thing is, like, you put, for example, you want positive affirmations for success or for finding love or for money, and like it's like there are YouTube videos, free YouTube videos, and you can just listen to it while you sleep. So your subconscious listens to it, and your soul and your mind, they affirm these things.
Okay.
Affirm these things as you sleep.
Well, it's interesting because I think that you find something that helps you look at a situation positively, look at life positively.
Yeah.
So whether it's like a business entrepreneur's journey through a book and you're like, that's the life I want to lead, so I'm going to follow what he tells me to do.
Yeah.
Or you find like that book, like The Secret, and it's thinking positively about everything and knowing, envisioning what you want, and then it comes. So I do think, but actually listening to something when you sleep is another step further, because it's unconsciously putting those positive thoughts into your mind.
Yeah, very true. Exactly. There's so many ways to do it, but this is one of the ways I found the easiest, because you just have to like put on something and you sleep off. So.
And how did it?
So I listened to positive affirmations to get your boss to stop yelling at you, and for the I've been scream-free.
Oh, but
So
now
just
can you be clear about who your boss is? Because you have a couple of bosses in the office, so I want to be very clear who.
Casey Fitzgerald. No, just kidding.
How
Her
dare you?
Her brother, Richard Fitzgerald.
Okay. So 2 weeks he hasn't yelled at you.
No, and it's like working. It's like magic. It's insane.
Today's the day. God. Okay, so
you
are
my negative affirmation.
When we're live, we have this like people in the office can message us if there's something issue, or if we've messed up with the audio, or if we've said the wrong thing.
No, please don't message us with anything.
So
we're good.
This is uncomfortable. Letter of dismissal via Simran just came through. He's actually at a breakfast meeting. You're fine. He's not watching.
Okay. All good.
Okay, so I'm going to use positive manifestations to change my life. What do I need to change, and what do I need to listen to? Interesting.
There's so many categories. There's like finding love, finding positivity, and it's like it doesn't do anything to attract. It just says I am capable of love. I am capable of what I deserve. It's just like telling your body and your mind that you deserve whatever, you deserve the best.
I want to find room for a second dog in my life.
Oh,
is that going to help?
Yes.
However, what's yours, Ali?
I mean, like, what are these? Their affirmations are ridiculous.
I don't know. I'm put on the spot.
I know your affirmations to be, I am the world's top video gamer. I am the world's top saxophone player. I am the world's top chef.
Who wants to be the world's top anything? So much pressure. I'll hang in the middle. Thanks very much.
I think it's an overachiever.
Possibly. Ali probably is an overachiever.
Yeah. You look like an
overachiever.
We manifested that out of your head.
Amazing.
Yeah. It doesn't even make sense.
What? Moving on to manifestation and big money. Yesterday we broke the news that a Dubai businessman has made the world's biggest Bitcoin pledge. He's put 17 billion dirham. Now this is actually part of a group. So a businessman, part of a larger group in the UAE. It's Khurram Shroff, the chairman of the IBC group. He pledged the jaw-dropping $4.8 billion. That's the equivalent of over 17 billion dirham. Basically, and it's all going over to the state, unfortunately, to help set up the Miami 2.0 Blockchain Strategy Foundation. All of this stuff really confuses me, but it's basically going to support the infrastructure revolving around Bitcoin and blockchain and making it more accessible. And it's a huge investment that just kind of solidifies the confidence in this digital currency. And does anyone know Bitcoin? Kind of wish I did. Everybody who owns it is like in the money at the moment.
I know Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, right?
I was going to say, does anyone own it?
Oh,
Not
own it.
know it.
Oh.
So you don't own any.
You just stated the obvious.
I'm gonna positively affirm myself some Bitcoins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is why it was such a good segue into this story. But I remember like 3 years ago in the office, people were trading. There's an app that you can trade on, and a couple of the team were doing it. And at that point, correct me if I'm wrong, but Bitcoin was worth $22,000. It's now $57,000. And this Dubai businessman, who really believes in it, thinks that it can get to $75,000. He said it will continue in this trend. We know it's a trend. We know it won't actually, it's going to peak and then it will drop a little bit, but it's really proving its worth here. And he said it may hit the 75K. Based on rising demand from individuals and institutions. People want Bitcoin. I don't know anything about it, but I wish I had some.
It's so tricky.
We don't know anything about it.
I feel like investing and investments, Bitcoins, cryptocurrency, it's so tricky. You just don't know where or when things can go wrong or when things can take a dip, when's the right time to buy, when's the right time to sell, if it's gonna, shoot.
Rich invested in Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken.
Rich has his fingers in a couple of pies, I reckon.
Oh.
But actually, actually, someone in the office was like, why don't we have an ingenuity session? So at the end of every month, someone goes deep dives into something that the rest of us might find interesting. Usually it's like media publications, but someone was like, Rich, why don't you talk about trading? And he was like, A, I don't know enough about it. I think it was about trading. But B, I think personally, someone can't just give us like an hour tip and then we'll know all about it. I think you really need to be on the pulse, on the button, watching all these trades go up and down. Like Rich made, I think he invested in something a few years ago because he was interested and now it's done well. But at the same time, you have to just be so interested. By the way, speaking of Rich, massive cap lock letters into Facebook. Hi, Simran.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You said he's busy, Casey.
Eyes are everywhere. That could just be someone else who's who knows.
How is he everywhere at once? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Are we searching for a replacement now? Should I put up
Stop it. People are like listening. It's a lot of
what do you
minds.
expect if you're going to shade your boss on live
It
TV?
wasn't shady. It was just like, I was telling you how my affirmations have worked.
Okay. Well, I hope they continue to work.
No, I don't think anymore. Like, it's done.
But do share those affirmations with us.
My affirmation time has run out. Has run out, yeah. Yeah, my mom doesn't suggest anything worthwhile for long. Anyway. So no, just kidding. Mom, you're the best. Okay, so moving on, 1484 by Puro, which sits atop Jebel in Ras Al Khaimah and has been the selling point of many, many viral TikTok videos since its opening in October 2020, has closed for the time being because of COVID restrictions. Now, they put out a statement saying, in light of the strengthened restrictions put in place to ensure the well-being of all visitors to Iraq, and in our ongoing pursuit to ensure that our guests have the best possible experience, we have decided to temporarily close 1484 by Puro on Jebel Jays, and we see this as an opportune time to enhance our offering and reconfigure and expand the space to create an even more memorable dining experience. And this was said by the restaurant in a statement in their Instagram post. And a little fun fact, the name of the restaurant, which is 1484, refers to the actual height in meters that the restaurant sits above sea level, making it the highest restaurant in the UAE.
Fancy. Has anyone been? It looks amazing. I feel like, is it up Jebel Jace, Jebel Hafid area? Looks amazing, but
I've never been, but we've shared so many TikTok videos of people going there and just repping life like no one's business.
But it's just in line with the number of closures that have been happening. As we know, there's been closures, fines, in all Emirates as the UAE really tightens down. And with that, delighted to announce a massive drop in active cases over the last number of days. There are only 2,250 new cases yesterday. We're really seeing it lower a little bit. So, of course, we still need to follow those precautions, but it's pretty amazing. Total active cases are now 9,603. Like I said, a month ago, we were looking at 25,000. So keep up the good work.
Insane.
Not that this was closed, by the way, but they've taken the decision to close.
Yeah, they haven't been closed. But they will also be opening up a pop-up in an equally spectacular location. So maybe another mountaintop or Wadi area or Hatta.
How do you beat the tallest mountain in the UAE? Like, I think that's like the peak, mind pun. No, but really, but it's like there's like the tallest building. Thanks, guys. There's like the tallest building and everything, but actually, the nature here is so incredible. How do you beat the peak?
How do you beat the peak? That is so deep. Like once you're at the peak, there's nowhere to go. Oh, it's like they just started from the top and now there's like that's it.
That's what we should write.
Oh my god.
We should write. We should take notes and write.
Philosophers. Aristotle's.
Speaking of philosophers, moving on, Will Smith is in Dubai. He's hanging out with Caesar and Burak in Dubai and they're eating baklava. So this is kind of social media gold. Caesar and Burak is the restaurant downtown, the Turkish chef. His content is king. He takes videos. We posted one yesterday on our Instagram. It got like 60k views, I reckon, because he makes this kind of incredible looking dishes that could feed an army, and then he does cool things with them. But anyway, Will Smith was in town and he did what most people seem to be doing, which is heading down there and being served by the chef himself this delicious meal, and then they ate baklava. Will Smith was just there like tucking in with his hands. I was like, okay, but cool. But yeah, that's it. With ice cream?
Yes.
Oh, kunafa with ice cream.
We've had this before, but should we go to Caesar and Burak and have kunafa?
Yeah.
Or where is the best one?
I think we should. It's about time we go as the team.
Yeah, maybe
we should. Should we do some like reader invites and call some people with us, like our top followers?
Yes.
One or two. That would be so cute.
That would be cute. We need to know the best place to get baklava first. So tell us, do you have any recommendations?
Yes. No, me? No. You guys?
Mado. I've tried Mado.
Mado?
Yeah, you said Mado.
Mado.
I've never been anywhere with a big name that I can remember that has a great one. I always see those. Where did I have an ice cream one?
Ice cream baklava?
No, I've seen the video, but I haven't been there. Do the thing. Money?
By the way, you got a notification on your phone that says you got to drink water.
Oh.
Wow.
It's not the water, but I have the coffee.
Okay, and I'll drink some knowledge. Just drink your water, Ali. But yeah. I have lost all inspiration in life, but other people have not. So speaking of inspiration, Maz Hakim powered through her COVID struggles and shared her journey on TikTok. Now, many families, individuals, couples have gone through tough turmoils this pandemic, but some have really overcome and powered through COVID-19 and the struggles that the pandemic brought along with it. I think many, if not many, like everyone has dealt with something or the other that the pandemic has made them go through, like struggles. And Maz Hakim, so she in particular, so I'm just going to read out her Instagram caption. She went through a tough personal year last year and channeled her sadness and emotions into a creative project during the lockdown, and it was the best thing that she could have done. And looking back in hindsight, everything happens for a reason, to help you grow. Feel like, so she goes on to say, feel like I'm a totally different person now. If you're going through something, channel your energy into something you love doing, stay busy. And in the words of Diane von Fritzenberg, you are your own best friend. Only a few pieces left. Only a few pieces left of her collection. Not a few pieces left of her, but yeah.
This is cute. I'm just watching the TikTok video. A, I've seen her jackets. They look really cool.
Yeah.
But B, like you said, COVID has been really, really tough for everyone, but it's really, really great to hear the stories of the people who've come through it. So
Yeah.
Maz obviously started her business. Maybe it's something that she had more time to do. I'm not sure. But yesterday we were going through some love stories. We have a competition on Instagram now to win a flight and accommodation to the Maldives with Etihad. But it wasn't to mention the competition, but basically all of the stories that come through are people finding love in COVID. And it's basically like, oh, I just had goosebumps. I was nearly crying reading to them because it's just like there are happy stories that happened. Like it's been really, really rough, but at the same time, people have powered through. Maz is testament to that. And although we all had we miss our families abroad.
Yeah.
There are small wins. So let's try and take the positivity out of that.
Oh, so true. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. What were you saying?
Not much.
I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, oh my God, we found love in a hopeless place.
Did you find love in COVID?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I think I lost love in COVID.
Lovin Extra is here. This is the new membership, and while absolutely nothing changes for our readers, extra members get access to premium content, exclusive competitions, and first look for tickets and access to the coolest events across the city, and Lovin merch. If you subscribe right now, a very cool Lovin Red Eco Water bottle will be delivered to your door.
You found love in COVID, right?
I've had a really good COVID. I'm not sure if COVID was good for me. You lost it?
I lost, yes. It was just the worst thing ever, the pandemic. Like, it tore my family apart, like, ridiculous thing. Ugh, disgusting. But yes, there are people like Maz and so many others that have put their struggles and reaped some good stuff out of their downtime and out of, their free time and stuff. There were so many businesses that came out last year, like startups, and you would think, like, who would open up a business during a pandemic? Like, that is the riskiest thing to do, but people did. Like, there were pizza restaurants that started, people starting their own clothing brands at home, like homemade and locally sourced stuff. And we started realizing the importance of local and sourcing local and supporting local.
100%.
So it was like, it did bring about a few positive changes.
Yeah.
That we can still, pull through to this year and all the rest of the years to come.
Take the positivity from it. Guys, that is it for us. After the break, we are joined by Sania Chugti, a children's book author and founder of the edutainment brand, the Wadi Tribe. Now, what's really cool is Sania has been a book author for years, a children's book author, but most recently, her stories are kind of helping kids with mental health, but they're beautiful, like the graphics on them are beautiful, the stories are beautiful, but actually will help them with their mental health well-being. We're talking to her on Zoom after the break. Stay with us. It'll be 30 seconds, and then we're going live with Sania. Guys, welcome back to the Lovin Daily. We are joined by Sania Chugtai, the founder, CEO, and authors behind the Wadi Tribe. It's an edutainment brand. Sania, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Casey.
Not at all. I see you have an interesting setup. I see there's maybe the star of the show behind you. Where are we talking to you from?
Well, I'm in my office, like home office called the Enchanted Room in Dubai.
It sounds very magical. And your job itself to me sounds not magical. I don't know if it's been a naive thing, but I've always wanted to write children's books. And that's obviously what you do for a living. How did you first start telling children's stories?
I think I started telling children's story when I was like 7 or 8 because I'm the eldest of the cousins from both the sides. Okay. So I was the unofficial babysitter. And one of the ways of entertaining the little kids was just telling them stories. I've always been a storyteller, or a shanaki, or a hakawati, as they say in Arabic.
Yeah.
It wasn't until in my 30s that I was telling the story to a couple of kids. And one of the young girls, I think she was 7 years old, she said, are these stories true? And I said, of course they are. You know, the characters are real. And at that stage, I was running an interior architecture company. So we had a bit of illustrators in the office. And I remember going back and saying, is there anybody in this office who knows how to draw cartoons? And somebody raised a hand. And I said, well, that's it, you know, you're drawing the cartoons.
Wow.
So one thing led another. Before I knew it, the book was published, and I thought it would be my first and my last one. And here I am, you know, after 7, 8 years and still writing books.
Amazing. So 7, 8 years still writing books. I know that your kind of heritage is in Pakistan, but you spent a lot of time in Ireland. So as far as I'm aware, your first book was in English, but it's also been translated to Urdu and Arabic. Are your stories specifically for an audience? And if so, how do they translate to, how do kids take up these stories which are for a different audience?
Well, they are written in English. I think in English. I'm an English author, as to say. But a lot of the time, say in this region, if you go to the interior, their mother tongue obviously is Arabic, so they prefer reading stuff in that rather than English. Somebody had approached me and said, would you mind if we translate this Arabic? I said, absolutely. It can be tricky for a children's book because you kind of need to keep the essence of the story the way it's written for a child, not a little translation or a Google translation. So it got translated into Arabic, and the first preschool book that I've just written, this one over here, The Little Fish, that's actually been translated into a couple of languages in Pakistan. So we have Urdu, then Sindhi has just been translated in Arabic we're working on, and there's other languages like Pashto and Thatki as well. So that's like 72 languages in Pakistan. So I'm hoping somehow we'd get close to that.
That's so incredible. Like, how do you manage to get your books to reach these audiences? Like, how are you getting them to Pakistan? How are you getting them into UAE schools, maybe? And how, yeah, it's incredible.
The Wadi tribe has become sort of the permanent company for me like a year ago. But before that, I was managing, the interior architecture and writing stories on the side. So my main focus would have been author days in school. And come COVID-19, that sort of disappeared instantly, so we had to go on online storytelling sessions. And that was easily, it was a blessing in a way, because then suddenly we had a global audience. I had people connecting in from Pakistan, then from Singapore, Japan, all these little small pockets of area which I had never thought I'd have a viewership from. In regards to Pakistan, there are a few big organizations who run schools over there for the underprivileged, and they're very high standard as well. So they had approached me, and we were in conversation to see whether we can get the books for the kids in their mother languages to them in Pakistan.
Wow. I know your most recent book kind of caught my attention. I think it's called Tak on Cusson Tour. So I'd like you to explain that. But it's obviously it's a book with an Irish slant, but it's available in different languages. What are the kids like when tell everyone what hurling is, and then tell everyone how, kids here might react to hurling.
Yeah, so my husband, Brendan McKittrick, he had been going on, when are you writing books around GA, which is the Gaelic Association, as we know. And I was like, well, I have to be inspired, And when I was looking at football and hurling, for me, hurling sort of associated with hockey, which is my native sport in Pakistan. I grew up with hockey. And I was like, let me just read a bit more about hurling. And when I read about it, there was an article that said hurling is an ancient warrior sport, and that was it. The imagination sort of kicked in.
Wow.
And for me, it was a learning curve. And trying to learn the way the command, as I call it now. I don't want to get in discussion whether it's a hurley or a hurl.
It's a hurley.
I have friends are going to text me immediately saying, no, it's a hurl. I stick with command case now. So, and then I found out that hurling was actually protected by UNESCO as well back in 2018, which was amazing. It's an Irish heritage sport as well. So
Exactly.
For me, it was learning as a foreigner, and I wanted to write the book that way as well. So in the story to kids, it's starting to evolve where it sticks and conquers, and then it goes eventually into hurling as we know it, command and slithers. And then of course, being in a social and emotional learning environment in the company where we have education, it's important for us to keep that part as well in the book. So TAC has fears as well, which it tries to overcome through sports. In this case, it happens to be hurling.
Exactly. So that's what I was going to say. Obviously, your stories look beautiful. And for kids, the Tash, who's is a turtle?
He is a turtle, a wee little turtle,
a tiny little adorable turtle. So that will obviously grab kids' attention. But as you said, there's a message there, and it's about mental health and well-being for kids. So as they learn what will they learn from reading the stories, and how important for you is it to have these types of messages in your books?
The first and foremost message is the introduction to the game hurling, which is very, very important for me as well, because I do feel hurling is also a spectator sport. And it's a great way of understanding why it's called the warrior sport, and then how it has developed as it is. And there's a couple of more books that will be coming in the series touching camogie and hurley making as well, which is equally important as a hurler. So that's very important. And the other key message is the mental well-being, how important sport is for a child to overcome social and emotional, learning they have. In this case, like I said, TAC has fear, so he uses hurling to reshift his focus to be able to get more empowered.
No, it's really cool. Like, I would love more than anything to see people from all over the world, which is Dubai, playing hurling in Dubai. Because if you're watching right now, just a bit of background, like if you grew up in Ireland, hurling and football, there are sports. You play it with like a long wooden stick. So people know it's got a flat base and it's actually the fastest. Oh, you have one?
I have one.
Oh, that's so great.
This is the small tiny one. We're actually selling them now as well because one of the things for TAC is
So
that the proceeds of the book go back, Casey, to juvenile clubs, and we have given a first set for a team of Schlithers and Hurleys as well, or commands to the Dubai Cats. But this one we got because it was such a demand. The parents were like, "Can we have one for kiddies?" So we've got TAC lasered on it, which I think is absolutely adorable. I don't know if you can see it.
I can. It's very, very cute. That's TAC there, everyone, just so you know. He's the star of the story.
He is. And so this is a small 20-inch one. And believe it or not, you know what? I didn't realize how important hurling is to a parent for a newborn child. So people are buying this as gift boxes, you know, to give as a gift to a newborn baby. I would have thought clothes would be top of the list. But no, if you're from a hurling background, it's a command and a Schlither.
I hadn't even thought of that. So cute. I love that tackies on the front of it. It's really nice. So tell me, if people want to read your books, if people want to learn more about the edutainment brand itself, actually, can you give people just a bit of a glimpse about the Wadi tribe as a whole and what you do?
Well, the Wadi tribe has a lot of different characters. I think we've got 25 characters now at this stage, where we use each character to help a child with social and emotional learning. So the character could be evolving through that particular emotion himself, or have already been evolved. Like, for example, we have Salt, who's a Shanaki, a storyteller, Hakawati, those kind of ghosts. They're just different terms in different languages for a storyteller.
Yeah.
And just his wisdom as well. So he's already experienced life as well. So how does he teach that to other kids as well? So we use these characters wherever possible in schools and through books as well to help children on a journey of well-being, mental well-being, which is very important. You can read all about the characters in the books on the website. Everything is there, Casey, like waditribe.com. It's easy enough to find.
It's so nice. I think it's so important for kids to have access to education that is about emotional development. Going through emotions, you know, it's just as tricky as a child it is as an adult. So it's amazing that that's there for them. And it's from an author who's in the UAE right now, yourself, and it's all on the waditribe.com if people want to find it. So that's on the website. And do you have Instagram or any social platforms?
Yeah, we have Instagram. So if you just look for the Wadi Tribe, I think it's _ the same thing for Facebook and Twitter. So we're quite active these days over there, coming up to St. Patrick's Day. So we've got this big campaign going on to push TAC as well, just to let people know, you know, who he is and what his key message is. So you can have a look and follow us on Instagram or any of the platforms that you prefer.
Awesome. Okay, that's it for us on the Lovin Daily. Thank you so much, Sanya of the Wadi Tribe. We really appreciate your time. Guys, stay tuned. We're back every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Thank you. Guys, that is a wrap for the Lovin Daily. We are back same time, same place every weekday morning. And of course, don't miss the Lovin Show every Tuesday where I chat with Dubai personalities. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and have a great day.